Do you work around heavy machinery, electrical equipment, or any kind of hazardous energy? If you do, then you have probably heard about LOTO. But knowing about it and using it correctly are, well, two different things. When it comes to keeping your workplace safe, few things are as essential as Lockout, Tagout, or LOTO systems. In this video, we're going to dive into some practical tips on how to use LOTO systems effectively, helping you protect yourself and your coworkers from serious accidents. Let's start with the basics. What is LOTO? Before we get into the tips, let's quickly recap what LOTO is all about. Lockout, Tagout, or LOTO, is a safety procedure used to make sure that machines and equipment are completely turned off and can't be turned back on until maintenance or repairs are finished. The process includes two main actions: lockout, which is physically locking the equipment so it can't be started, and tagout, which involves placing a tag on the equipment that warns others not to use it because it's being serviced. Think of it like putting a lock and a big "Do Not Touch" sign on a machine to ensure that it stays off while someone is working on it. Tip 1. Always follow the procedure. It might sound obvious, but the first tip for using LOTO systems is to always follow the procedure, no matter how routine the maintenance might seem. It's tempting to skip steps when you're in a rush or when you think, "I've done this a million times, nothing will go wrong." But accidents happen when we least expect them, and taking shortcuts with LOTO can have dire consequences. Always go through the full LOTO process. Shut down the equipment. Turn off the machine using the normal stopping procedure. Isolate the energy sources. Disconnect or block all energy sources, whether they're electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic, or mechanical. Apply the lock and tag. Place the lock on the isolating device and attach the tag to warn others. Release stored energy. Make sure any stored or residual energy is released or controlled. Verify isolation. Double-check that the machine is truly off and cannot be restarted before beginning work. Sticking to the procedure might take a few extra minutes, but it's worth it to prevent potentially life-threatening accidents. Tip 2. Communicate clearly with your team. LOTO is a team effort, and clear communication is key. When you're locking out a piece of equipment, make sure everyone who might be affected knows what you're doing. This includes other maintenance workers, operators, and even people working nearby. They need to know which machine or equipment is locked out, why it's locked out, how long the lockout will last, and who is responsible for the lockout. Don't just rely on the tag to communicate this information. Talk to your team members directly to ensure everyone is on the same page. Miscommunication can lead to someone accidentally removing a lock or trying to use a machine that's still being worked on, which can result in serious injuries. Tip 3. Use the right equipment. Not all locks and tags are created equal, so it's important to use the right equipment for the job. The lock should be durable and capable of withstanding the environment in which they're used. For example, if you're working in a high-temperature area or in a place with corrosive chemicals, make sure the locks and tags are designed to handle those conditions. Additionally, each worker involved in the lockout should have their own lock and key. This ensures that the machine cannot be reactivated until all workers have finished their tasks and removed their locks. Never share your key with others or use a generic lock that anyone can open. Tip 4. Train, train, train. Training is crucial when it comes to LOTO. Even if you've been through training before, regular refreshers are essential to keep safety top of mind. Make sure that every employee who works with or around hazardous equipment is trained on the LOTO procedures. This includes understanding the types of energy sources they might encounter, how to properly apply and remove locks and tags, and what to do in the event of an emergency. Also, remember that training isn't a one-off deal. It should be an ongoing process with regular updates whenever there are changes in equipment, procedures, or regulations. Tip 5. Perform regular audits and inspections. LOTO systems aren't something you can set and forget. Regular audits and inspections are essential to ensure that everything is working as it should. These audits should check that LOTO procedures are being followed correctly, the condition of locks and tags to make sure they're still in good shape, that all employees are up to date on their training. If any issues are found during an audit, address them immediately. This could mean replacing worn-out locks, retraining employees, or revising procedures to improve safety. Tip 6. Always verify before you start work. Even after you've locked out a machine and tagged it, you need to take one more step before starting work verification. This means double-checking that the equipment is indeed powered down and that there's no residual energy left in the system. Try to start the machine using its normal controls. If it doesn't start, you're good to go. This step might seem redundant, but it's a critical part of the LOTO process. It's the final assurance that you're working in a safe environment. Tip 7. Don't rush the process. Finally, never rush through the LOTO process. It's easy to feel pressured to get a machine back online as quickly as possible, especially in fast-paced work environments. But rushing leads to mistakes, and when it comes to hazardous energy, mistakes can be fatal. Take your time to ensure that every step is completed thoroughly. Your safety and the safety of your coworkers depend on it. Conclusion. Safety first. Every time. Safety locks and tags might seem like small tools, but they play a big role in preventing accidents and ensuring that everyone goes home at the end of the day. Using LOTO systems correctly is one of the best ways to protect yourself and your coworkers from dangerous accidents. By following these tips, you'll help create a safer workplace for everyone. So, remember, safety first, every time.